Okay, great stuff. So let's actually have a look at the integration utility working alongside Partner for Windows. If within Partner we look at the Tools menu, we'll see an entry there called Prospect Register and Prospect History. So firms are using the Prospect Register as an entry point for perfect portal data. And this is where you will see new cases automatically appearing after they have been created on the portal. Now this is of course a very useful entry point because a conflict of interest check is included as part of the process. Okay, so if we have a look down here, I have created a task, and this task will run the Lean integration utility and do all the background processing necessary in order to populate the prospect registry screen as above. So let's just run that task and let's see what we get. So of course this will be run on your server. You wouldn't see the command windows which are now just flashing up before your eyes. What you will see, however, is after that task has run, as that has now finished, if you now refresh the register, you will see any new cases that were created on the portal will now automatically be displayed within that list. And here we have a new inquiry, Mr. Andy Owen. Okay, so just as you would expect, all of those base details have all flowed through into this new prospect screen. A couple of interesting fields here are the case type and the originating office. Now it could be that the case type, your local case types, do not match exactly with the case types on the portal. In other words, it may not be a one-to-one relationship. It could be, for example, that you have separate case types for leasehold and freehold, for example. So we would need to modify the base code, adapt it to match your local setup. Originating office, that we are defaulting to the fee earner's normal office. Again, that might be something that we need to modify on your system. Now down here we have some markup codes with some values between those markup codes. Entity reference. Let's say, for example, you receive a new case, but it relates to an existing entity. Well, we don't want to create a new entity, we want to assign it to an existing entity. So all you would have to do here is enter in the shortcode of that existing entity, and when we click create live entity, it will not create the entity, but it will create the matter, which is exactly what you want. For this example, we will just stick with new. Description. Again, we have this start code and end code. Between there, we've got a default description, which is a combination of the case type and the property address, the property purchase that is being purchased. If you don't feel that description is appropriate, then of course you can edit it at that stage. Okay, let's move on. Create live entity. So as you can see, I have run this data through this test system a few times now, and we now have 5 Andy Owens. However, we're going to say that there is no conflict of interest. So let's go for create entity. So we have another one, OWE6. Okay. Partner, of course, comes up with the entity properties, and as you can see, the code behind has populated as many of these fields as is possible with the portal data. One thing that is missing off this one is partner. Now it could be that you have some rules in terms of a default partner for a particular branch, that kind of thing. So that's something we can definitely incorporate. Notice here also that the source of introduction has come through as well. Okay, so let's OK that. Oh, one thing missing, I think, title. Now that is missing simply because it wasn't included in the test case on the portal. Click OK. Okay, that is not all. Let us have a look here at OWE5, and there we have a matter. Fantastic, with the expected case type and of course matter description. Let's have a look at the matter properties for that. Now, what I've done here is create a demo view. So these different properties from the portal will all need to be assigned to your specific screens if you have them. So things like property price, the actual details, property address details, etc., will all need to be it will all involve some bespoke code to assign those to the correct slots within your own system, and that's something I can work with you on, no problem. Now this is very interesting. Agent, broker, other side. Now in this test case, there are no values here. But if you had added an agent, a broker, or other side onto the portal, then this base code will look for a matching entity based on several things such as postcode, such as company name, that kind of thing. And it will automatically assign them as matter contacts. So it's going to save you a lot of time. Again, that is something that we can modify if it is not appropriate to the way you want to work. Okay, so we will now move on and now have a look into the background here and just look at the tasks and the actual utility to show how things are set up on your server. Okay, great. We're nearly done. This last section is just for the techie types who want to know how this is all configured and how you can control it and how perhaps you can adapt it as well. So here we go. Let's look at that now. So there will be a folder installed under your main partner folder on your server. And in there is this main operating program, this Perfect Portal SQL-version 4. So this is obviously a command line tool that requires certain options in order to operate. Those options are held within Perfect Portal SQL.ini. So within this ini file, we've got various things such as our connection string to the server. We need to know the server name, database name. We also need to know the Perfect Portal username and the Perfect Portal password. So those are just those basic settings in order to get up and running. If we look at the utility itself, here if I run the utility from the command line, you'll see that there are various options, including get cases, get key stages, get users, and send key stages. For this example, we've just covered get cases. We have a scheduled task here which runs this command file, and within the command file we call the exe, we pass it the method of get cases, and we output the results to a log file. If you look in that log file, we'll see what happened last time we ran the utility. We actually skipped a case because we'd already downloaded it. It's already downloaded, it's already gone live, so we no longer need to import that case. So on your system you'll see many entries here for the various different cases that may or may not need to be downloaded. We also have, out of interest, a SQL file here. It's very simple. All it does is execute a store procedure which physically processes the data. So we have the executable, which downloads all the information and populates the tables within partner, and then we have the call to the SQL. If we look in here, you'll see there's two parts. Actions. Get cases populates the tables, and then we run the command. That command which simply calls a store procedure, which then processes all that data. If we have a quick look at the tables, supporting tables that are all installed, you'll see they are quite neatly organized. We've got Perfect Portal cases, clients, diary, disbursements, key stages, legal fees, other side, and users. All of those tables are populated by the download utility. Everything as you would expect to see. Okay, I think it's time to wrap it up. I hope you've enjoyed this demo. I expect you'll have some questions, but unfortunately I'm not there to answer them. But if you would like to contact me, I will be very happy to help you. You can contact me at richard.briggs leansoftware.net. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Cheerio.